Hi, everyone, and welcome. On today's program, we are joined by Gerald Salente, who's an author and economist and also projecting trends. Now, you are also, by the way, the founder of the Trends Journal, and it's as we see the world undergoing these immense changes, it's important to recognize the link between geopolitics and economics, and it's therefore imperative to map out the accurate trends. And yeah, the Trend Journal has an excellent track record in making these predictions for decades now. So before we start, I just want to put forward this offer from Gerald Salente's Trends Journal, in which you can get 10% discount on the Trends Journal. Just enter the code GLEN, GLE, double N, and I will also add this information to the description. So it's great to have you back on the program.
Well, thank you for having me. And again, in US dollars, it adds up to about $2.50 a week. This is this Sunday's New York Times. They call themselves the paper of record. I call them the toilet paper of record. This is the business section. It costs $6 a day, weekend edition, Sunday edition for the New York Times. This is the front page of the business section. One big stupid picture. And remember, business section. I'm mentioning this because it's the decline of journalism. It's finished. They're prostitutes. They're media whores they get paid to put out by their corporate pimps and government whoremasters. They're prostitutes. Remember, this is the business section. The varsity influencer team, an effort at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, aims to turn its student athletes into social media stars. That's the story. What does that have to do with business? Yeah, that's what you get when you tune inside. Nothing, nothing. The media is gone. In the United States, a slime ball, I called him that when he was running for president back in 1992, little Billy Clinton, Slick Willie. Every time he got caught with his pants down, it was bombs away over Baghdad. The little arrogant boy of nobody, but now he's a multi-millionaire. That guy, yeah. I didn't have sex with that woman, Monica Lewinsky. No, she only sucked me off. So that little jerk. I'm mentioning this because of the decline of journalism. The Federal Communications Act, 1996, by Clinton. There were thousands of independent newspapers, radios, sites, and TV shows. Thousands. He deregulated it. Now, six companies control 92% of the American media. So swallow the propaganda because that's all you're getting.
I think that's a very accurate description. It's quite amazing how many media channels there are and how there's hardly any daylight between them.
Yep.
But I guess the big news of this week though is that well, after Trump was elected on his peace mandate, he was going to end the war in 24 hours. Then it had to be extended slightly to 100 days. However, this week he now has the mineral deal from the Ukrainians and he's now selling them weapons. So not only is he a new Biden and joining in on this war against Russia, fighting to the last Ukrainian, but he's also extorting the Ukrainians and successful towards this end. What do you think this will mean for the economy and the I guess the geopolitics of the world?
I've been at this for 45 years. Never in my lifetime have I been so concerned about the annihilation of the human race because of nuclear war. You mentioned what Trump is doing. How about what that little arrogant slime ball that's the new president or chancellor, excuse me, of Germany, Merz? What did he? Where was his last job? Oh, he came from BlackRock. Oh yeah, that group that buys up everything, run by a Fink. Can't make that up. A little Fink boy. We're increasing. We're going to go $1 trillion in debt to build up the military. Oh, we're going to do some infrastructure repair too. $1 trillion. The Nordic countries, more money going into defense. UK, European nations, all most of them building up the defense budget. Now let's go back to Germany. 2 years of recession. 2 years of recession. Going to go into another recession this year, and you're building up the military? Oh, yeah, that's going to build our economy. No, it's not. Bombs and missiles, and they don't go into the economy. That only goes into the pockets of the military industrial complex. Economies go up when manufacturing goes up and the people buy the products. Nobody's buying these products. They're ramping up this war. By the way, this is why gold prices are going up. They're going to do everything they can to keep the Ukraine war going. And that means either bombing a nuclear power plant, some false flag event, bombing deeper inside of Russia, like hitting Moscow, bombing up more oil depots, doing anything they can to keep escalating this war. And remember, you can't make this crap up unless you're a craphead like the slime balls that are running the world. They're worried about Russia invading Europe, Germany saying this? Oh, you mean the Germany Operation Barbarossa, World War II, that killed over 25 million Russians? Oh, we won't talk about that. Oh, and the Russians are going to attack after what you did to them? You like World War II, you like World War One. Heil Hitler, Heil Merz. All right? And then you have what's going on over there in Iran. We said when Trump came out and said that they were going to make a deal with Iran about their nuclear development, we said it's a big lie. It's another setup, just like he lied about the peace deal in Ukraine and a peace deal in Israel. What they're doing is they're setting this up to say that Iran will not go along with the nuclear agreement, and Israel and the United States are going to attack Iran. That is our forecast. And when that happens, it's the beginning of the end of life on Earth, because this thing's going to continue to escalate. Again, what did Trump just do the other day? Let's see. I had it here a second ago. Trump says any country that buys oil from Iran will not be allowed to do business with the U.S. Wait a minute. You're having a peace negotiations with them. And you're doing this? So this is serious what's going on. When all else fails, they take you to war, and the global economy is failing. What followed the Great Depression? World War II. What followed the dot-com bust? The war on terror. And now the economy's going. Look what happened with negative GDP growth in the United States. And Trump spews out the crap that this is the best 100 days of any president in office. I mean, how could you say this? Well, he could say anything he wants. I'm the president. I'll do what I want.
What sense do you make of the allies as well, though? Because not only is this, ramping up or continuing the war against Russia, but also now, as you said, threatening, Iran, trying to break its economy while you're doing the negotiations.
Yeah.
But you also see some troubles with the allies, given Trump's use of tariffs, not so much to yeah to boost the industrial economy, but rather to I guess blackmail, or as the Japanese said, this is extortion. So we've seen language the Japanese haven't really used against the Americans in decades. Instead, they're actually referring to America as an extortionist for the way it's trying to, I guess, wrestle a new deal out of them. And while they're being bullied to make another deal, the Japanese make the point that we don't understand what deal you want. You keep changing what you're asking for. So what are you extorting from us? I mean, there's a lot of confusion within all this bullying as well. How do you think this is gonna change? Because now you're seeing, instead of Japan turning against China, they're realizing they might need China as an alternative partner to diversify if the United States becomes more unreliable. Do you see this as simply a negotiation ploy from the Japanese, or might they actually make a pivot to try to improve ties with the Chinese?
I think they'll try to improve ties with the Chinese. Chinese have 1.4 billion people. The United States has 347 million. Who's going to do more business with? And when you talk about extortion, this is very important. Anybody who could Google this up. As I say, when all else fails, they take you to war. And again, the Great Depression was going on and World War II followed. Google it up. Franklin Roosevelt seizes all Japanese assets. You're talking about extortion. History Today, mainstream media. In July 26th, 1941, President Franklin Roosevelt seizes all Japanese assets in America. You know why? Those dirty Japanese invaded French Indochina. Wait a minute. French Indochina? What the hell are the French doing in Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam? They have no right being there. Oh, we're the French. Oh, I forgot about Algeria, Morocco. We're stealing and robbing any way we can, like the English and all the rest. The Dutch East Indies. What the hell are the Dutch doing in Indonesia? Oh, we're stealing, robbing, pillaging as well. And the United Kingdom. Oh, the Great Britain, where the sun never sets on the British Empire. And we're slaughtering people all over the world. The three of them put sanctions on Japan, cut off 3/4 of their trade and 88% of their oil. They import 100% of their oil. Can't understand why they bombed Pearl Harbor. Let's go back to the Ukraine war. You're going to start seeing the same thing happen. They're going to ramp this thing up. We have maniacs in charge. Again, look at the little pieces of nothing. Little boys of nothing. A little Catson Macron with a pecker if he has one smaller than that. Little nothing Starmer over there in the UK. How about adding an F, a U, and a C in that UK, huh? I got out of his mind, arrogant, narcissistic Trump. Oh, we had dead-in-your-face Biden before that. One clown after another running the world. Oh, and I forget Netanyahu. Mass murderer of the first degree. Genocide in front of everybody's eyes. Pick up the Wall Street Journal. Pick up the New York Times. Not one word about the daily murder of 40, 50, 100 Palestinians every day. Not a word about the bombing of Gaza into ruins. Not a word about cutting off all their energy, their food, their medical supplies. Not a word. Oh, and now bombs away over Syria. Yep. Article, just to give you the language, from Israel launches airstrike warning in Syria. Financial Times, May 1st. Benjamin Netanyahu announced yesterday that Israeli forces had struck what he said was armed group preparing to attack a Druze community near Damascus. What the hell are you to do this? Oh, Netanyahu said, I got to believe the crap coming out of the genocide murderer's mouth. They're bombing Lebanon, violation of the ceasefire, destroying entire areas. They're ramping this war up. It goes back to gold prices. I started buying gold in 1978. It was either $183, $163 an ounce. I've been watching it, been doing this all my life, adult life. I've never seen anything like what's going on now. Never, 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 never.
Yeah, that was actually my next question. It's not just gold, but silver. This is making some, let's call it unusual moves. How can we explain what is happening within the well gold but also silver market? Because I yeah, I haven't really been following gold. Well, I started following gold around 2007 and 8, but it's been, I know that prior to this, it was even, steeper growth. But what we're seeing now is quite unprecedented. How do you explain why it's making such huge moves?
I'm telling you, the geopolitics and economics. Again, we talk about Germany. It's the third largest economy in the world. They're in recession. India. You
Mhm.
see the stock market has been going down. Oh, what are they doing now? Ramping up a war against Pakistan. Pakistan denied that they had anything to do with that last slaughter that went on a couple of weeks ago. When all else fails, they take you to war. India, they're buying up gold, the people. China, yeah. There's an article again from the Financial Times about if I can have it here, about yeah, Chinese investors. This is, again, May 1st, pile into gold ETFs at record pace, the safe haven hunt. So silver's going to follow. Silver follows gold. I bought silver back in 2011 when it was like $40 an ounce. And now we're talking 32, 33. But the reality is with gold, like you have a gold ring over here, and what happens to maybe they'll melt it down if they want to do something with it, not silver. Silver is in every piece of technology. When the technology dies, you bury it. You don't have stockpiles of silver. That's very important. Silver is very high tech and heavy industry. So we see silver prices going up along with gold. Gold, we're forecasting gold this year could easily hit $4,000 an ounce. Again, the Trump, you don't know what he's going to say. You said, I'm going to end the Ukraine war in 24 hours. I got elected. I'm going to end it before I get into office. I'm going to end it in 100 days. We're past 100 days. And now, as you mentioned, they just did a deal and more weapons to keep it going. And again, he said he's going to make a peace deal with a nuclear deal with Iran, and he's doing the opposite. My greatest concern, again, is Israel and the United States going to war against Iran. Look up the Samson option, Samson. Israel says if they feel like they're losing, they go nuclear. And they have between 200 to 400 nuclear warheads. Oh, but Iran can't even develop nuclear power plants. But hey, we're Israel. We could do anything we want. We're the chosen people. Hey, did you hear this shit coming out of this slimeball's mouth, the former senator, United States Senator Noel Coleman last week? He said, look it up, Noel Coleman, the masters of the universe are the Jews. And that we have to stop everybody that's against what Israel's doing. Oh, yeah, I'm just a little guinea from the Bronx. Who are you talking to? This is why, and again, as I say, three of my last four girlfriends were Jewish. My people I thank every day when I was a young kid, Mr. and Mrs. Singer, Mr. and Mrs. Rosenblatt, Al Balot, and Bert Feinstein. Some of the greatest people in my life have been Jewish people. It has nothing to do with Jewish people. Just like World War II, you don't hate all the Germans. You don't hate all the Italians. But this is what's going on with this war, and it's going to keep making a bad situation worse with the genocide that Israel's being committed.
Yeah, what is the possible outcomes from this, the way you see it? Because Israel has a lot of deep divisions, which only growing, and the wars they're fighting now with more and more external actors, they're not going well. And as you say, if things go really bad, they have the nuclear option. So, but they're not backing down any
No,
area. Indeed, the effort to pull America into war with Iran, it's quite wild that this is actually something they want. even though this, would likely lead to their destruction as well. But do you see any pathways where this would just, where Trump would be able to, well, dial this back on behalf of Israel and somehow we don't end up in war?
No, no. Look at his cabinet. Look at that little clown boy playing the defense secretary. Heck's a little jerk who just push up, showing how tough he is. Little jerk, a little former clown from Fox News, our defense secretary. What did he say to the Houthis? Oh, America's bombed what, over 800 airstrikes against Yemen, and he's blaming Iran for supporting the Houthis and threatening Iran. Did it last week or this week, threatening them. Oh, the United States and Saudi Arabia, where they kill over 500,000 people in Yemen when they launched the war, was back 2014 under the Nobel Peace of Crap Prize winner Obama. Again, you look what the Houthis are doing in fighting back, and this is a little nothing country. Iran is very advanced militarily, technologically, scientifically. There are 91 million people there against what? About 8 million Jewish people in Israel? They're very advanced. And they've been building up their military in knowing that this is going to happen. And again, go back to what Trump did when he ended the nuclear deal back when he was president. There was a nuclear deal that was signed. And all the inspectors said, Iran's not making nuclear weapons. But what does Trump say? Here's his language. Let me get it here in 1 second. He said, any country or person who buys any amount of oil or petrochemicals from Iran will be subject to immediately secondary sanctions. They will not be allowed to do business with the United States. It goes on to say, and again, this is from CNBC Straight News. Trump also initiated negotiations with Iran last month over its nuclear program. His administration believes Iran is trying to develop nuclear bombs, an allegation that Tehran has denied. Not only has Tehran denied this, the nuclear inspectors are saying they're not doing it. But that's okay. Facts don't matter. We'll sell the lies. Iran finance minister, this is out of the Iranian news agency. New sanctions will have negative impact on talk progress. Of course, you're in talks and now you're putting sanctions on them. Oh, and by the way, you know who buys the Iranian oil that Trump is saying he can't do business with? China.
So, yeah, with the war in Ukraine, Middle East on fire, you have the economic war with China and I guess social problems and political polarization within the United States. Where do people put their money these days? Where's a sound bet? Because this is there's not a lot of yeah, there's not a lot to be optimistic about these days. So, is it only the precious metals, gold, silver,
No,
people withdraw into, or what?
no. We said it when Trump got elected. We said Bitcoin and certain cryptocurrencies are going to go up because he got over $100 million from the crypto club. And this is a Trump that hated crypto when he was president, but now his son's dealing in it. It's one big club and you ain't in it, as George Carlin, a great comedian in the United States, said. Look up talking about the deals going on. Look at the Trump deals that are going on, building Trump towers in Saudi Arabia, Qatar. I mean, look what's going on all over the place. They're doing deals everywhere in front of everybody's eyes. His son's talking at a crypto conference. And so it's going to go up. They're only interested in money and power. It's right in front of everybody's eyes. The president of the United States doesn't care about the people. They only care about themselves. People call it a government. It's a crime syndicate in virtually every country. It's a crime syndicate.
Yeah, I flew into Dubai last week actually for a meeting, and it did occur. It did well. It shouldn't take me by surprise, but it did. I did strike. It did strike me as strange that on the flight, as they were landing, they showed a commercial video of Trump Hotel building, building in the United Arab Emirates, or being already built, and I couldn't help but to think there must be some conflicting interest here, which should play in. But it is,
And
yeah,
that's why none of the Arab nations are fighting back. The major Arab nations are fighting back at what Israel is doing to the Palestinian people. It's all about the bottom line. They could care less. They're
but
all
is
doing
this?
they're all doing business with the president. Oh, by the way, the Trump that wants to turn Gaza into the Mediterranean Riviera, the Trump whose son-in-law, Jared Kushner, we wrote about in the Trends Journal last March 2024, said that's very valuable waterfront property, and the Palestinians should be pushed out into the Negev desert. Oh, the Netanyahu, when he came to America, he used to stay at the Kushner, Jared Kushner's family's house. Oh, that. All right. As I said, it's one big club. It's a crime syndicate.
It is quite remarkable that one is able to look at the horrific genocide playing out, and the solution is, as Trump said, to create a zone of freedom by ethnically cleansing every man, woman, and child in Gaza, and then referring to it in terms of the property value, though, to have a, I'm not sure what to call it, a French Riviera of the Middle East. I mean, this
Yeah.
is. It is quite extraordinary to think about, yeah, a conflict this severe in those terms. But is it always goes down to the money you see with Trump, or because it did seem during the campaign that he had a somewhat seemingly a genuine aversion to war. He kept talking about how unnecessary Yemen was, unnecessary Ukraine war was, but here he is bombing Yemen, which he a few months earlier said was a huge mistake, and of course now also sending the weapons into Ukraine. This is what was that? The depth of it? There was nothing there, or how do you see this?
He's a liar.
Yeah.
All he want to do is win the campaign like all the politicians. They lie their way into office. I used to run political campaigns in Westchester County, the richest county in America. I was the assistant to the secretary of the New York State Senate. I designed and instructed a course called American Politics and Campaign Technology, how to run political campaigns. I taught it at St. John's University. I was on the other side. That's why I know what I know. And I left because a bunch of low-life pieces of scum, arrogant little boys and girls, little gutless little clown boys, when you call them out man to man, as you'd say in the Bronx, they don't know whether to piss or shit. Oh, don't talk to me like that. Yeah. No, you don't talk to me like that. They're ballless, gutless, arrogant little freaks. That's the political system in a country near you. And that's the word country to make it clear. And it's all they do is lie their way into power. I don't know if I told you this last time I was on. I had lunch with Donald Trump's brother back in 2017. I'm up here in Kingston, New York. Across the river, there's Hudson River. East of here, there's a place called Wassaic, a little town. And Trump's brother had a restaurant there that he's helping us. Anyway, I was with him for 3 hours. The brother died, by the way, since then. He said that when their father died, Trump's father died, he left the family over over $500 million of real estate value. $500 million. Trump is nothing more than an inherited, spoiled daddy's boy. All right? He didn't make it on his own. Atlantic City, but there was a mess over there. Lost it. one losing game after another. Again, he made it because of all the dough that he got and the connections and the story. I'm the same age as Trump. Bob's 78. When I was a kid, I grew up in the Bronx. They couldn't, I'm right after the war. They couldn't control me. They used to say, "You little bastard, we're going to send you to military school." That was the biggest threat. I'll be good. I'll be good. You think I'm going to go to military school, get dressed up in drag, time to get up, time to go to bed? And my mother, may she rest in peace, a great Italian woman with fine food all the time. I'm eat that crap. Trump was so narcissistic, they sent him to military school. Cornwall, New York. It's about 30 minutes south of where I am, in the middle of nowhere. Imagine being a teenager in the middle of nowhere, dressed up in military drag, eating crappy food, time to get up, time to go to bed, and being given orders all day long. That's how narcissistic he is.
So, anyways, Gerald Salente, thank you for your time. It's always very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you.